So I'm here with Victor from Edamam. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you. I went to your website. We definitely have checked you out here at the Spoon. A lot of really great work around basically collecting a ton of data. You have a food database API, you have a nutrition analysis API, and a recipe database that's like super 2.3 million or something listings. So why don't you tell us here at the Spoon a little bit more about Edamam?
Absolutely. So, just a couple of things. Actually, the recipes are a lot more than 2.3 million, but that's
Oh,
what
it's
we make.
raised.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's about 5 million recipes that we're looking at.
Wow. Okay.
And just to play off of that, we built probably the largest database of meals and nutrition in the world with over 5 million recipes and a million foods. And we've analyzed and tagged them for every nutrient, every allergen, every lifestyle diet, every chronic condition, meal type, dish type, cuisine, CO2 impact, so on and so forth. So that database was built over years using a very unique piece of software that we've developed to do nutrition analysis. It leverages natural language understanding specifically for the food domain, which allows us to essentially analyze in real time the nutrition of any recipe, ingredient list, food with human level accuracy. So over time, we've kind of accumulated over 5 million recipes and a million foods. And now we offer that both this technology for nutrition analysis and the database via a search engine as a
Mm.
personalized meal recommendation. So we do personalized meal recommendations around diets and nutrition. You know, if you bought salmon and asparagus today, and you're on a low sodium keto diet, and your kid's allergic to peanuts, and you want something under 300 calories, and you don't like onions, you can give us all that, and we can produce suggestions for what you should be eating. And then we do just a nutrition data lookup. All this data is offered via APIs or as licensed data
Hmm.
sets. And we offer it to both large companies like clients of ours, like Nestle, Amazon, the Food Network, New York Times,
Oh, so a
Barilla,
lot of companies. Yeah.
Microsoft. Yeah, but we also have about 100,000 API subscribers.
Okay.
So we think of ourselves as a data layer for anybody that needs food and nutrition data.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you who your partners were. Then, yeah, you have big partners, but then you also have basically anybody who wants to, utilize that API can as well.
Correct. We have a bunch of very single developers, students that experiment. We also have something called Nutrition Wizard, which is essentially a user interface for the nutrition analysis, and there are quite a few dietitians that use that. So,
Yeah. So if people, need this knowledge that you have built up over the years, they're going to go through one of the partners then to basically to access it.
correct. That's our business model. To an extent, we started as direct to consumer company, and then we switched to B2B for various reasons. But one of it is purely because we're mission driven, we want to help everybody in the world eat better, live longer, healthier lives. It is much more impactful to partner with companies where people make decisions about food, recipe sites, grocery stores, dietitian offices, wherever that is, rather
Hmm.
than try to kind of win it all with one app or website. So we kind of reproductized our technologies and went down the B2B route, and we think of our clients as any food, health, and wellness business in the world as our potential client.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, again, there's just so much to tackle when it comes to this topic. So it makes a lot of sense to go to people who are already working on it. And hey, we have a
Mhm.
bunch of information. Would you like to utilize this in your work? By the way, how did this get started? Because it is a lot of data to collect. Like, how'd you mentioned earlier you had some sort of AI learning or machine learning that helped you with it, but like, it seems like a gargantuan task.
It is a big task. Gathering the data is not the hardest part. It's getting to a level of accuracy that is human level of accuracy is hard. And so we've had, a few years to build a database and refine it. We're constantly gathering and improving data. We're constantly going both broader by getting more meals and food data in our database from various sources. We crawl and scrape the web. We buy data. We have, Mechanical Turk type of folks that collect data for us.
Mm,
But in any case, what our value add is that we organize and structure this data and make sense of it. And the nutrition analysis piece is very important because we've essentially gone through the English language recipe web, collected the recipes, deduplicated them, and then done nutrition analysis of those to be able to append nutrient information. And what is more important than nutrient information is really human level accuracy. We've been, selected by a lot of top-notch companies because of the accuracy of our data, and that's the hard
right.
part. It is like anything. Lao Tzu said, journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. We started with a single step, and eventually here we are.
1,000 miles and 5 million recipes and a bunch more. Well, it's really cool. Is there something that's on the horizon for you with Edamam that you're excited about that we can maybe talk about? That's something that's a goal of yours.
Yeah, there's a few things down the product line. Some of them are very mundane, like we're launching new languages, Spanish, German, probably French after that. We're looking at Japanese and maybe Mandarin. So that's to be expected. We are also going deeper into the data, trying to create genotyping of foods and meals and recipes,
Hmm.
so that if somebody does DNA sequencing, based on their genome, recommend what they should be eating. The science is a little bit not there yet, but we're looking into that. We're working with a couple of companies. We're looking at microbiome typing. Another thing that we are looking to develop, and we're just waiting for a partner to build it, is flavor and texture profiling of meals
Oh,
to
okay.
add as well. And then the one thing that we are partnering with University of South Carolina for an NIH grant proposal is to create dietary inflammatory index for any meal and recipe out there in the world, which for us is the actual gauge of how people eat and what they should eat and what their health is. Inflammation is kind of the bottom of all chronic conditions. So all
Hmm.
those projects are kind of in the pipeline, and we're working on all of them, but we're also looking at where the market is going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great to have those aspirations of like seeing the real time results of all this kind of great data that you're putting together and how it can affect actual people and how they their well being. Like you said,
Yeah,
inflammation's huge, a lot of people we talk to here at the Spoon are working towards basically making the average person be healthier in a
yeah,
myriad of different ways.
yeah. It's my true belief that if people eat right, well, also sleep right and exercise and all that, but they can live up to
Yeah.
120 without chronic conditions and mental illness, which it sounds like a pipe dream, but it's very, very possible. So that's what we're working towards.
It's funny you mentioned that date or the average years because I think the last time I talked to you, you said that to me, and I was like 120, and that was like baffling to me. But it makes sense because, like you said, what goes in is what keeps you going.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the natural biological age of humans that don't get sick. So,
there you
you
go.
know, if if we live well, don't get sick, that's what we live to up to.
Well, that's hope. That's for both of us and everybody else watching. Victor, thanks so much for being here on the Spoon, and people can go check out your API and all the data that you're working on at edamam.com. And thanks again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.